Hello, team. Welcome to our weekly sales meeting. I'm super excited to have you here. We've got a jam-packed lineup. I'm very excited for everybody to hear the content that we have on today because it's extremely relevant and going to really move the needle within all of our businesses as long as we're dialed in. So I'm going to get started and talk about improving market conditions. The market is improving and it's happening quickly. So a couple things that we have to talk about is like there's a lot of different ways to attack the market, but we have to understand that like there's one part of it that of course is database related. And as you saw in the themes of our weekly sales meetings this week, and you'll see next week during our weekly sales meetings, there's a lot of different ways for us to evaluate our database to identify opportunities for refinances. And we'll talk more about that later. That's important. But what I want to start this meeting and talk about is how we're leveraging this improving market to engage our pre-approved clients, to engage our real estate agents, and really create a united front. One of the things that our Utah team has been doing that has been extremely effective is every Monday they've been doing a market update this last month. And the market update is not consumer focused, it's real estate agent focused. They've had 30, 40, 50 real estate agents on this market update every single Monday. And the focus is helping them understand how market improvement is translating into buyers' affordability, home buyer buying power. So you've seen some posts in Workplace from Tyler and some of our other sales leaders talking about how to communicate with your agents and your borrowers to show them how a 1% or 1.5% or even 2% lower interest rate over the last month can really move the needle for their buying power, how it completely changes their circumstances. So it's extremely important that we understand that it's our job to activate our database. It's our job to activate our clients, and doing it one-to-one is effective. And I'm not going to tell you not to do that. Doing that one-to-many is how you create that scalable communication and you become more effective. So, being able to be in a situation where maybe you're doing what, the Utah team's doing, where they're activating all their real estate agents, they get 30 to 40 in a shot on a market update, and they can help coach them on how to communicate the opportunities in the market to home buyers and other, people that might be, potentially looking at selling and buying another house. All those things matter. But the other part of it is understanding that as much as we know that rates are down, and as much as we've seen a 10, 15, 20% increase in activity week over week, the last 2 weeks when it comes to more people, applying to get pre-approved, that's only a small fraction of the buyers out there. Just remember, for 2 years, what has the media been telling home buyers? They've been telling them rates are high and now's not the time to buy and all that good stuff. So we have to out-communicate what the media has done for 2 years. We've got to change that behavior. You're always going to have your early adopters that see the needle move because they're watching so closely and they get engaged and they get pre-approved and they start moving forward and start looking at houses. But the vast majority, that's the opportunity. The vast majority is the people that if you're posting consistently on social, you can't just post on Monday and talk about how rates have come down. You got to show it to them. What does it mean to them? What does a lower rate mean to the consumer? How much more buying power does that give me? How much cheaper? Some people might not be, hey, I don't want more buying power. I just want to stick to my $300,000 price range or my $200,000 price range. How much cheaper is the money I was going to buy? And that is going to create the level of engagement and attraction to use that people are going to want to have a phone call. They're going to want to start talking about getting pre-approved. So it's important that we understand our part in bringing this communication to our network, to our sphere of influence, and the importance of consistency in all of those communications. So, my call to action is, stay on top of what you're seeing in Workplace from our sales leaders, but also follow our sales leaders, follow our top salespeople here at UMortgage on social media. See what the Jay Buntes, who you're going to hear from shortly, see what the Tyler Hodgson, see what the Adam West, see what they're doing to engage their audiences, the Ian Twaddles, Karin Oxners, like all of these people are staying super active and consistent in their communication because that's what's important right now more than ever is engaging the audience. Now we'll talk a little bit about 2024. Rate trajectory is coming down for sure. We've already heard about what the projections are for potential rate cuts. We saw some inventory stability over the last 2 weeks. That's a big factor that's going to continue to improve as seasonality starts to wear off. So we're going to have more inventory because now it's affordable for people to buy, so they're going to start selling. We've got more affordability. There's going to be more buyers in the market. And all of these things are going to lead to a lot of growth in 2024. So, for us as a company at the macro level, we've had tremendous growth. We've doubled our volume over the last from 2022 to 2023. But at the micro level, we all know it's been tough. Market conditions, inventory restraints, affordability have all held buyers back from the market. 2024 is going to be a big growth year. We are not going to just double as a company, but all of us within our communities are going to be working with more agents and more buyers, and we need to be prepared for that. And my call to action here is this: we're in the middle of a transition from our last semester of level up sales coaching. We're going to be going into the next semester of level up sales coaching, and I can tell you that the data tells me that the loan officers that are in level up sales coaching, that are tracking their activities, that are staying on top of their time management, are simply outproducing the ones that are not in the program. It's 100% a statistical fact. So my challenge to everybody is make sure you have the conversations with Tyler, Sam, evaluate joining Level Up Sales Coaching. This is not about a UMortgage, value. This is not a financial revenue generator for the company. This is all about getting better. This is all about us being more effective, having that accountability, having that structure, and being able to meet with, our coach on a regular basis once or twice a month to be able to be in a position where when we're hitting our pain points, when we're falling into a situation where we're not feeling as effective as we'd like to be, we have a sounding board to walk through that situation in an effective way. So, call to action there is 2024 is going to be a growth year. The question is, what level of growth are you going to have, and how much is it going to impact your, work-life balance? How much is it going to impact your ability to be effective on a day-to-day basis? Are you just going to get flooded with volume, and because you don't have systems or processes or good accountability in place, you're not able to really capitalize, or you're sacrificing time with your family? Or do you have really good time management, really good structure, and really good prioritization, and an effective relationship with operations that you're keeping all of your ducks in a row? And those are the big challenges that we want to make sure that we're able to answer and support all of our loan originators to be most effective in 2024. I'm going to hand it off to Jay Bunte, and I'll be back shortly.
Hey everyone, Jay Bunte coming to you from Fort Worth, Texas. And today we're going to talk about something that after you're done doing it, you're going to look back and say, wow,
that was easy.
That was easy. And it's so surprising talking to fellow loan officers that have never done one before. And I'm talking about the VA IRRRL. All right. That is the interest rate reduction refinance loan. Long way of saying streamlined refinance. These are from VA loan to VA loan. So you're reducing your interest rates. And it's so surprising that the loan officers that I talk to, they're like, man, I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to do it. Y'all, it is the easiest loan you will ever do, and it benefits the veterans. Okay, so I'm not going to go into all the specifics on a VA IRRRL, but at the end of the day, the big things you're looking for is you've got to be decreasing at least 0.5%, and it has to be 210 days from their first payment. They've had to make 6 payments. There's a few other things, but that's at the end of the day, that's what you're looking at. It's so easy. There's no verification of income. There's no verification of assets. There's no appraisal. All these things that you do during the purchase, you don't do. Okay, so with the current market, the current rate environment, they're starting to come back. All right, we're starting to see a decrease in rates, and so the buyers that purchased earlier in 2023, let's just make up a rate. Let's say they're at 7.25%. Yeah, it makes sense right now to look at doing a VA IRRRL. So at the end of the day, it's got to make financial sense for them. They got to be meeting the 36-month recoupment, hopefully a lot less, right? Hopefully, I was talking to a loan officer at UMortgage yesterday. It was a 9-month recoupment. The borrower wanted to do it. 9-month recoupment, it made sense. So how I'm staying in front of my current pipeline. So for one, I pulled all my VA purchases from the last 12 months. I've identified which ones are within the window to actually be VA IRRRL eligible, right? They're past the 210-day payment. And does it make sense or does it not make sense? I'm calling them, texting them, emailing them, and I've even written handwritten letters to some of my past clients. For one, just checking in on them, right? Stay in front of them. And two, letting them know that, hey, I'm thinking about you. I'm watching your rate. I'm watching when it makes sense to refinance, and I will let you know. All right, maybe it makes sense right now, maybe it doesn't make sense, and we'll continue watching rates. So you have to stay in front of your database, because guess who is definitely going to be calling them, right? The call centers, the pop-up, 1-800 freaking call. You guys know the online lenders that just all of a sudden show up when there's a refinance boom and then they go away when it's over. So don't let your borrowers become subject to non-expert loan officers. You're the expert. You can take care of them. So my call to action to you, if you don't know how to do a VA IRRRL, which by the way is
that was easy,
the easiest loan there is, Jump on the daily sales huddles on UMortgage. Jimmy Hobson's been on there. Patton, Gade's been on there. Chad Katani's been on there. Everyone's just like giving real quick, down and dirty, here's how to do it. And if you have any more questions, reach out to us. So my call to action to you, identify which of your past clients are VA IRRRL eligible, see if it makes sense, and then reach out to them. Thanks.
Hey everyone, I'm LeFore here with Mortgage List Home Lending, located here in San Diego, California. For those of you that don't know me, I love to teach classes. I've been teaching classes for about literally 8 years. And so that is actually what we're going to be talking about today, how I've been teaching classes and really kind of how I actually have pushed them out a lot on social media, and then how I get literally up to 100 people on my Zoom for my classes. So first off, teaching classes is its own animal. It doesn't happen overnight. It is something that I've created and that I've started and I've worked on a lot on a regular day basis. I do teach classes first, second, and third Wednesday of every single month. The first Wednesday is something mortgage related. It's something real estate. Like I just taught Mortgage 101 literally 2 days ago. And then next month, I'll be teaching non-QM, the truth about non-QM. And then on the second and the third Wednesday, I actually teach social media classes. So something like Instagram 1, Instagram 2, Reels Part 1, Reels Part 2. The classes are all derived on like topics and conversations that I have from real estate agents. I have a whole bunch of classes on my list that I teach. The mortgage classes, there's right about 5 or 6 that go from Mortgage 101 to non-QM to what's happening on the market, and then talking about VA loans, condos, just giving education to agents on more of a higher level spectrum. And then that way, when you're not giving so many details, they want to be able to get some more information. So I get people into my Zoom classes literally just by using social media. I post literally in 28 different Facebook groups. And then I also post on all of my social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram. We started creating Reels. There's videos that I've made for it as well. Also get pushed out as well. There's new pictures that we've actually set up. So I actually post those on social media as well. We have educatingrealtors.com, which is literally where you find all of my classes. So there's a lot of push out when it comes to the classes. They're all always on the Wednesday. They're always at 11:30. They always end at 12:30. So because of the consistency, you end up being able to have people want to be able to attend the class. And all the time you get agents coming back and saying, hey, I'm so sorry I missed it. Can I get a replay? Absolutely, you can get a replay, but you got to be in my VIP group in order to get the replay. So it's like that other connection to my classes where if they don't attend, they can get the replay, but they got to be a part of the VIP group in order to get the replay, because that's where the replay is, the PowerPoint and the guide, all of that stuff lives in that group. So it's kind of like all together, part of the process of being part of the agent classes. The follow-up is intense. I mean, I literally send out an email and a text message the day after my classes. We also have emails and text messages that go out 15 minutes after the class is over. Mondays, I am following back up and making sure that they actually did something with the material, because I tell them that 90% of agents literally don't do anything with the information from the class and do not be one of the 90%. So that's part of the Monday. And then we start it literally all back up again on Tuesday with more information for the new classes. Teaching classes, like I said, it is your own a big animal. It's just like YouTube, but it is something that you just got to get started. And when you give value in this aspect of teaching classes, I can tell you the phone just rings automatically with being able to have business. I don't run Facebook ads for these classes. This is literally just stuff that I stick on Facebook groups or on my social media. I did start actually reaching out on Phone Burner to be able to get more people into the classes and to confirm their attendance. But I literally just started that about 60 days ago. Besides that, it's all social media driven, putting it in the stories, getting that educatingrealtors.com everywhere so that way people can sign up for the classes, not just one. So if you're trying to kind of just start from scratch, feel free to reach out on either on the DMs or on Workplace. I'm happy to help you. But also on marketing sites, which I just learned that on our UMortgage, there's actually a whole bunch of classes that I never knew were actually there. So now I'll be using that for my next class that's coming up next month for non-QM. If you guys have more questions, reach out. Again, I'm LeFore, located here in San Diego. It's been a pleasure. Have an amazing day.
Hi, everybody. This is Patton Gade, and I'm the National Director of Military Lending. And I'm here to provide you with some updates on the Military Lending Division. One of the big things we're working on right now is the class for the VA certification process. What this is going to entail is a bunch of videos followed by some testing at the end that you're going to be able to go through kind of at your own pace and learn a lot about VA loans. At the end of that process, there's actually going to be a catalog where you'll have all those training videos and you'll be able to access them at any time as a quick reference if you need to just brush up on any part of that whole process. This is going to elevate the knowledge base of our whole sales team and position us as the best trained and the most knowledgeable VA team in the country. In addition to that, we've actually started the growth process within our team. Currently, the team consists of about 10, mostly Army, Navy, and a couple Marine folks. But we actually have some Air Force guys, Coast Guard recruit joining us soon. And this is going to make us a true combined arms team. And we're super excited about that. The vision for our team in general is to have just the best trained VA sales force in the country. Iron sharpens iron. And we know here at UMortgage that we want to get better every single day. And when you have a group of people that are focused on a singular mission, you can accomplish extraordinary things. Oftentimes when people leave the military, they miss that camaraderie. They miss the mission, they miss the teamwork, and they miss the people on their left and right. Many of the veteran loan officers across the country are feeling that same emptiness, and we're starting to draw them to our team. So I want to ask you, what can we do for you? What VA training do you need to be better? What resources do you need to make your job easier? Feel free to reach out to me at any time, and we'll get you access to absolutely everything you need. Thanks a lot and have a great day.
Hey guys, Jimmy Hobson, branch manager out of the great state of Utah. So today they wanted me to come on and talk about what we do as a branch and the boot camps we run. So as a company, we run sales huddles every single day, noon my time, Mountain Standard, 2 Eastern. We have speakers on. We talk about trainings and best practices and loan products and everything you can imagine under the sun. We as a branch took it to a different level. When I came here 2 years ago, one thing that Kyle and I decided to do is if we're going to be branch managers and make money off the production of others, because that's what happens, we want to make sure we're earning the money that we get paid. We wanted to provide value. So on Tuesdays and Thursdays, we created what they call mortgage boot camps. Now, Tuesday has now become our sales meeting. So now Thursday is our mortgage boot camp. What we do is we have outside speakers come on. So for example, if someone's crushing it with realtors, like Ian Twaddle is, we bring him on to talk to our team about the practices that he's working on. If they're struggling with social, I'll go on and talk about Facebook. If they want to know about new products, we'll bring one of our account executives from United Wholesale or NewFi or LendSure or wherever it may be and bring them on so they can educate our team up close. Now, mind you, we do that in addition to what corporate does on the sales huddle. So I invite you to come check it out because the sales huddles are packed full of a ton of value. If you want to come on to one of my branch meetings, if you're thinking about maybe joining us, message me through this platform. Let's talk about it. Let's get you on so you can kind of kick the tires, see what we do, why it's different. You know, every branch of the company does things differently, and they create things differently. But as a whole, we are rowing the boat forward. So whether it be the guys in Texas or the guys in Georgia or us, that's where the value comes. We are always looking to get better, whether it be through trainings, whether it be through coaching, whether it be no matter what we do, the boot camps are designed to help us grow and move forward. So if you're running a branch, no matter which company you're at, we'd love to talk to you about coming here. But if you're running a branch, provide value to your employees. If you just sit back in a room and never talk to anybody and just get paid for doing nothing, which exists in our market, as many of you know, where does that provide value? How do you grow? One reason why we've grown year after year after year, and yes, we've hired more LOs, but one reason we continue to grow and we average a lot of loans per LO is because of the value we provide. You know, we bring people on to educate. To me, education is the key. So as I've taken on different roles with the company, my big thing is let's adjust the way huddles and boot camps are done. We send out recap emails. We do all the things we need to do to make sure that we are dialed in and every LO has the equal opportunity to succeed. Now, mind you, not every LO is in the same spot in their career. Some may be transitioning out and retiring. Some may be brand new and don't know, you know, like this whole refi boom that may be coming with rates dropping. A lot of people don't know how to do a refi because they've never done one. I'm fortunate that in 21, even though it was a massive refi, I mean, I was still 60% purchase, but I saw enough refinances to understand it. So every single day, whether it be boot camps or huddles or however we operate, we do everything we can to make everybody else better. And that's why we grow. It's a culture unlike anything else. You'll go to some of these companies out there and they could have 2 branches 10 miles from each other and never have a conversation. That is not how we operate. We are a collective. We're rowing in the same direction. I describe us oftentimes like the Borg for you nerds out there that like Star Trek. We are basically one in purpose. There may be 500 of us, but we're all one in purpose and moving forward. And if we're not, then maybe we're not the right fit. But the thing that we have done recently is that we hire new people. We selectively do that, and they bring more value. So we get the new people on to share their perspective of the boot camp. That's what we do. I challenge you, if you're a branch leader, to have boot camps with your people. If you're an LO in this company, or any company for that matter, get on our sales huddles, get on our trainings, see why we're different, see where the value is, how we can continue to move forward and grow. I appreciate your time. It's an honor, as always, to be here. Have an amazing holiday season. Look forward to talking to you next year.
Hello, team. Thank you very much, Jimmy, Liz, Jay. Awesome job across the board. I appreciate you guys. So just want to talk about 2 things here before we wrap up. So one of the things that, I've shared with a lot of our people, back in my previous company that I owned, Garden State Home Loans, we were a heavy refinance shop. We did as much as $1.8 billion in volume in our best year. And one of the things that we learned is that the amount of referrals you will get from a customer that you close through a refi versus a customer that you close through a purchase is significantly higher on the refi side. I know there's a lot of people in there that, oh, I don't believe that. Like, believe me, I've done the work. I led that company, and we built the company based upon referrals from our past customers. And we massively outpaced any of our competitors on the number of customers we received from our past customers. And one of the reasons why, and this is, again, sharing the knowledge from experience, on a purchase transaction, if you do an amazing job, that doesn't mean that the borrower had an amazing experience. Now, listen to me. Here's what I mean by that. When you're buying a house, there's a lot of stress, okay? First of all, just moving is stressful. Moving from point A to point B is stressful. Providing all your financials to a mortgage company is stressful. Getting a home inspection, getting an appraisal, having your title, getting your homeowner's insurance done. You're doing all this in a very condensed period of time, where for most people, that's a lot of discomfort. That's a lot of conflicting priorities. If you have kids, if you have a job, that's a lot to balance. So your mortgage company could knock it out of the park. You could be the most amazing loan officer ever, and they'll be happy with the experience you provided, but they can still be dealing with conflicting stress or conflicting issues that are going on surrounding the transaction that are out of your control. So understand that their priority and their attention isn't 100% focused on your experience, okay? So on a refinance, here's the difference, is you have no conflicting priorities. Refinances drive referrals more than anything because you're simply adding value if you're doing the refinance the right way. Right now we're in a situation where we're evaluating our database. Consumers, what has been the number one issue for 2024? Affordability. Consumers borrowing at the highest rates possible. The ability to provide relief to consumers through whether it's you heard from Jay, a potential VA streamline or refinance, or an FHA streamline, or just a conventional rate and term refi, where again, we want to make sure we're adding value. We have to, we don't want to be increasing their principal balance significantly. We want to make sure that we're structuring the loan in a way that has the least amount of cost possible, and there's true value, not just in the monthly savings, potentially reducing the length of their amortization as well as a part of it. You can go from a 30-year fix that they're several months into down to a 29-year fix or a 28-year fix while dropping the rate. So it's not just simply about saving money on the payment. It could also be about saving money and reducing the repayment term. The big thing is you're adding value. You're calling them not with just, hey, we're getting through the transaction, or we'll make sure we get meet all the milestones. You're calling them in a situation where you have 100% of their attention. There's no conflicting priorities. There's no confusion. There's no stress going on. And what you'll find during that process is they're going to talk to a coworker, they're going to talk to a neighbor, they're going to talk to a family member. Because all of those other people in their head, they're sitting there saying, anybody that I know that bought a house or did financing the last 2 years, they're going to know right away that if this is valuable for them, it would be valuable for any of those people. And what do people want to do for people that they care about? They want to add value to them. So you'll get more referrals. So just understand the power of not only reaching out to your refinance database and doing the refinances today, but in some cases, reaching out to tell them that, hey, right now, while rates have come down, it might not be fully in their interest to refinance. We might need to wait a little bit longer for rates to come down a little bit more. But the fact that you're thinking of them, the fact that you have their back and that you're presenting that value is going to be a conversation starter for them with their friends and family as they see them over the holidays, and you're going to start to see the referrals pile up. So just understand, refinances drive referrals more than anything else and will help you really take 2024 to another level. But the key, like Jay said, stay in front of your clients. You can call them now and talk about the value you're going to provide in a couple of months. You don't have to be ready to refi today to stay in front of them. So last thing I want to talk about here is daily sales huddle. You heard from Jimmy, heard a little bit of the themes here today. A lot of people sharing calls to action to join the daily sales huddle. We've been really focused on making sure that we're making the daily sales huddle relevant, impactful, and something that you can take action items from to translate into your business. So just understand, we're talking about, doing VA EARLs. We're talking about, managing your database. We're talking about a lot of these different things. But we understand that in this short sequence of a weekly sales meeting, there's only so much that you're going to be able to take from it that you can actually translate into your business. On the daily sales huddle, we get tactical. We get into the weeds. We talk about structuring, and we create an environment where you can ask questions. So whether you can make it live on the daily sales huddle or you have to watch the recording, we upload every single one to to SharePoint. Make sure you get in there, because what you're going to find is that half-hour investment of your time will translate to more loans from your database. It'll translate to better practices in your business, and it'll translate into you being a better loan officer because you're hearing from top people. Yesterday, I watched, Patton Gade was on there. There's things that he's saying that at the end of the day, a guy that's doing $200 million in volume, he just has had more at-bats, he's got more experience, and he's able to share insights that we're not going to get from anywhere else. And he's doing it all for the purpose of helping our community get better every single day. So make sure you take advantage of it. It's a massive value add. You can watch it live at 2 p.m. Eastern or watch the recordings on SharePoint. Have a great rest of the day and talk to you soon.